So we've worked with over 20 established marketing agencies, and the pure thing that we're focused on every single day for every single one of our partners is client acquisition. How can we book as many qualified appointments every single day? And how can we turn these appointments into closed clients for our partners? And this, again, has been our pure focus and what I want to share, because we've ran campaigns across hundreds of niches and tens of services. And what I've found is a collection of what the easiest niches are to scale in terms of booking meetings, in terms of signing clients, in terms of scaling your revenue. So if you are doing any sort of outbound, or if you are looking to book more meetings or sign more clients, then this can be applied from day one so that you can start getting results much quicker. And what we found is that anyone who implements what I'm going to talk about now will see results exponentially quicker than anyone focusing on niches that aren't very good, that aren't easy to scale in, and aren't very conducive to booking meetings and scaling up. So if you don't know who I am, my name's Ethan Welby. I'm the co-founder of Agency Growth Partner. We've been building out client acquisition machines for 20 plus marketing agencies at this point. So what I want to do is explain a quick story of one of our past partners. And this partner specifically, they were running an e-commerce agency. So what they did was they partnered with e-com brands to help scale up their revenue through paid advertising and email marketing, but that doesn't really matter. But the key point is that on paper, they had everything right. They had a nice offer talking about a very desirable outcome. They were mentioning case studies. So they were talking about past brands that they've helped, and they were talking about a guarantee. So they were making it so that the brands that they work with, their risk was mitigated. So on paper, it looked like they were doing everything right. And they were packaging this in very nice outbound, sending it via email. And most people would think this is perfect, right? They were doing everything right. But the problem was they weren't booking any meetings and they weren't making any sales either. So this was obviously a problem. And what we found after looking into their campaigns, because this was going on for a while, and we were like, everything here is perfect. It's exactly like the past clients. Why isn't this working? And the one thing that we found that changed everything was the niche, but more specifically, the niche that the case study was talking about. So the conclusion, and I'll go into more detail on this in a minute, is that the easiest niche to sign clients, the easiest niche to scale in, is the niche in which you have the most case studies, or in which you have the best case studies. So the problem for this e-com client was that they were mentioning case studies that was in, let's say, the fashion niche. But what we were doing is we were targeting brands in the sporting goods niche. So while they had case studies, while they had a great offer, while they had guarantees, the case study wasn't resonating with the person we were speaking to. Because what most people do is they see e-com as one big niche. And this doesn't just apply to e-com, it applies to everything. For example, you don't want to be targeting local businesses. You want to be targeting a specific type of local business. For example, just dentists. And if you did that, you would have much more resonance if you've helped dentists in the past, for example. So the lesson is that if you want to genuinely 10 times the amount of bookings that you get and massively increase the amount of sales that you make, target people who are similar to who you've helped in the past. Because it's easy to understand that if we're talking to someone, let's say we're talking to a dentist again, and we mention other dentists who are exactly like him, and we help these other ones to generate tons and tons of revenue, he's going to be like, of course I want to talk to him, because he's done it so many times with similar people. So the first thing that I recommend for you, if your goal is to sign more clients right now, is to only target people who are very similar to your past case studies, because you're just going to have an easier time doing everything in terms of acquisition. There's literally no downside to doing it. And after a while, what you're going to notice is that there's secondary benefits as well. Because once you start signing them, which is going to be very, very easy, once you start signing them, you're just going to see the same things over and over. You're solving the same problems over and over. So because of this, your delivery becomes streamlined as well. You're doing the same thing every single time a new client comes on board. Imagine how easy that makes business. You don't have to reinvent it. You don't have to do some crazy market research. You're just copying and pasting exactly what you did the last time. But now the next question might become, okay, we understand the value in having a niche, or at least in targeting a specific niche in our actual outbound efforts. How do we get in contact with them? And that's exactly why you need an outbound system in the first place, because if you don't have a predictable way of getting in front of the right people every single day, you're just going to get whoever comes to you. And the worst part about that, or the two worst parts, is that firstly, it's super unpredictable. You might be getting tons of inflow in 1 month, and the next 6, you have no predictable way of getting new people in the door, right? Because you're just waiting. You're just waiting for people to come to you. And the second part on why it's so bad is that when the people do come, they are not qualified, right? They could be anyone that has heard of you, and that just makes it more difficult to specialize and to get to the point where you're copying and pasting service delivery in your business. So we need a way to proactively get in front of the right people at scale every single day, so that all you need to do is get onto calls and repeat the same process over and over and over. Because if you're selling, again, using the dentist example, if you're just selling to dentists every single day, after a certain point you figure out, okay, dentists, they have this problem, they have this need, it's pretty clear, let me just say the same thing over and over and make the sale and get money in, right? That's genuinely how easy it becomes. So building these outbound systems is obviously what we do. So the last thing I want to do is just start pitching everything that we do. So I need to say that you can do this on your own, right? You absolutely can. But this is what we do. So if you want more information on that, you can check the description. But if you were to do it yourself, the first thing that I'd recommend is to firstly look at your case studies, figure out who has been your best results, who did you enjoy working with the most in terms of the outcomes, right? What outcomes were the best? And then building a campaign based off of those people. So after we figure out who these people are, we just need to figure out how we can contact them, right? So for example, gym owners, they may not be on LinkedIn very often. Finance or real estate professionals may be on LinkedIn all the time. So firstly, it's all about understanding who your ideal client is, and then figuring out where they are. So one of the most universal mediums to contact people is email. And this is what we recommend for 80% of people. So in many cases, it would be very safe to start there. And all you need to do, and I'll link these things in the description, but all you need to do is find a way to get leads in the first place. And you can do this in so many ways. But one example is using a tool like Apollo, right? They'll provide you with all the leads that you need in terms of contact details as well. So now we have the leads, understand who we're looking to target. Then we just need a way to actually reach out to these people. So then you can use a tool like Instantly. This is going to allow you to put domains in the software and then send from those domains to your ideal clients at scale, right? So there's no limit to the amount that you could send. You wouldn't actually need to send that much to get in contact, book meetings, and make sales. But if you wanted to send hundreds of thousands, the option would always be there. So you'd find your leads on Apollo. You'd get a tool like Instantly where you can send messages at scale. Then you just need to buy some domains that you can put into the software and send from, and then it'll send out automatically, get you in contact with them. You'll just need to write some scripts. It'll be very easy to do. I have tons of videos explaining how to do that. I'm telling you, it's very easy to do, right? So you'll have that being sent out automatically. Positive leads come in, you just book them into your calendar, you have a meeting, make the sale, and then go from there. It really is not complicated. If you are not doing this at this point, you are missing out on way too many bookings. Every single agency partner that we're working with right now is running these sorts of campaigns and they're seeing insanely good results. So I'd highly recommend getting that up if you don't have it already. And then finally, if you want some more information on what we do, you can just check the link in the description. But otherwise, if you found this video useful, subscribe for more and I will talk to you in the next one.